Naomi, did you print out the stuff from
Yeah, fill in the.
Wildlife Services? Andy's got it upstairs.
No,
Well,
whatever it
underneath
is,
the pile.
so feel free
You're
to
on.
snack the thing up.
So you do have it
Right,
upstairs.
I do have it upstairs, yes.
Default, D.
Do we have like copies for everybody or?
This one. Make copies.
Yeah, and then there's two different ones. Oh, is there?
It was a fillable form, but I didn't know what to fill in, because I printed it.
There's one for private, one for non-private.
I printed out everything you said. You said print out.
Yeah.
You're all set. Andy, you guys are good.
Yeah, I understand we are live. I do. Doing a little bit of prep work. You get your mic there, Jack?
What?
Did you get the mic in front of you?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. Guys, got it, good. Did you grab the one up there, Ray? I did. Welcome, Zuzu. We are not in meeting yet, or Steve's running some copies.
Yeah, that's not your
Thank you, Steve.
I'm glad my seat has little wheels on it. There you go.
All right, good evening. Welcome. Glad everyone's here at 7:04. I'll call to order the August 13th, 2025 meeting of the Conservation Commission. We have a quorum here tonight. Myself, Andy Fulton, Chair of the Commission. To my left, Steve Nager, the Vice Chair. To his left, Mike Camacho, the Secretary. And beyond Mike, we have member Ray LeMay to my right, Mark Phillips, and Zuzu Tatesland. And we have our liaison from the Selectmen. Thank you for being here, Jack. And we do have two guests in the audience, Ernie and
Justin,
Justin.
from Tito Corporation.
Excellent, thanks for being here, guys. We have our agenda. We are being recorded, but as is our habit, we'd like to address concerns from our guests right away. So Ernie or Justin, if you want to come up to the podium and preface how we can be of help and lay it out for us?
Well,
What
I hope
we
you can
do
be
to-
of help. First of all, I wanted to know, I went to the selectmen meeting on this, and I guess I was invited here to talk about this culvert issue up on Duck Pond. I'm the owner of MBAC, and, or otherwise known as Duck Pond subdivision. And this is kind of a 2-year saga that's been going on. And I don't want to bore you with all the details. Does everybody know the background of all this? And have you seen my lawyer articulated, I thought, a very good letter that spells out our position. Do you guys have seen that?
Yes, sir, I've seen that.
Okay, because I have copies of that if you hadn't, but that articulates our position as to why I feel that, obviously we had an easement in the deed. You guys read it differently, or your attorney reads it differently. But, we started this redesign basically, and have you seen a letter from Steve Keach also in the file?
I can't say.
Okay, well,
whether or
we
not-
started this 2 years ago. He worked with our engineer to look at the redesign. The bridge thing was really a failed design. It really wasn't the cost part of it. It had been designed 15, almost 20 years ago. Steve worked with our engineers, and they came up with the box culvert idea. He gave a letter to the town strongly, and I got a copy, and I can give it to you if you want, strongly suggesting that you accept this redesign as it be much less costly to maintain and much less intrusive. So that's where we started. So we then send that to the state. That's up there for a year. The selectmen signed the permit to obviously to apply for it. I believe
I'm sorry, to apply, could you be specific on
Sure,
that, Ernie?
sure.
What was being applied for?
the actual permit for the redesign of the wetlands crossing.
So the wetlands impact.
Right,
permit.
so basically we had to reapply to change it from the bridge design to the culvert design.
I don't believe that's accurate. I think what we saw was you applied for a wetlands impact, a wetlands permit is colloquially how they're called at Department of Environmental Services.
Okay, well,
Because the prior design didn't require for that crossing a wetlands permit because it wasn't impacting the wetlands, it was staying out of them.
okay,
And the redesign very much impacted the wetlands, so we went from a situation where there was no permit required to a permit being required.
I don't believe that, no, I believe that wing walls that were there required a permit.
I don't believe we ever saw, and if they did, I don't believe we ever saw a wetlands permit.
It was 20
for
years
that
ago, so I'm
before.
not sure. But I almost, Tia Moran did designing, but that's irrelevant.
I'm, just so you know, and everybody else knows, I'm going from recollection of having sat at that table right through the
Okay.
the development proposal. Many times, your representative
Vincent?
came before
Yeah.
us, and we talked about what our concerns were. We talked about how to address those concerns, and then we did a site walk. We did follow along with what the planning board was requiring. So, what I'm trying to say is, I was present during that negotiation, and it was a lot of back and forth. How about we do this? What if we went this way? So when I say I don't believe there was a wetlands permit required for that crossing at that time, I'm not just guessing, I'm remembering.
Okay,
And I remember that was one of the selling points to the Conservation Commission, as our opinion in an open space cluster subdivision was of validity. Planning board required our commentary, and essentially we agreed with that subdivision as it was laid out. And now we're just trying to change that, and you've got reasoning that you can explain to us, but there was reasoning why it was designed as a open span or as a bridge.
Okay.
And so when that crossing, which is adjacent to space that was by design, by by zoning, required of a cluster open space subdivision, when that land was conveyed to the town under town ownership, there were several parcels, I think 3, maybe more than 3. It was with conditions, and those conditions were strongly written up in the conservation easement. And those conditions are something we have to we have to back up or we have to honor, because it is the fundamental to the work of a town conservation commission on behalf of the town to honor the conditions under which we hold land. And that easement agreement set the conditions.
And that's where, correct, and that's where we have a big basic disagreement.
Right.
Okay? There's no meets and bounds. It's left ambiguous for a reason. I've developed thousands of acres around the state. I've had these same kind of clauses in the same thing. And just to go back also, that space that I gave you around Duck Pond and another piece further up by the farm up there that I gave, that was a wetland area, those weren't even needed in the total calculation of acreage that was needed. It was asked for by the town. We gave it willingly. The big piece in the back up of the mountain was the one that we needed for the open space, the amount of open space development for a cluster. But that's really neither here nor here. There. Obviously, we've gone 2 years now with this. You've had many times to interject in this. You had 14 days before the permit was issued to interject.
Let me hold you up right there, because I want to be accurate in our record,
Go ahead.
our response to your assertion. We, the Conservation Commission, though the easement language, and we'll keep going back to that, says that the open space, town-owned open space is to be managed by the Conservation Commission, we were never approached, we were never addressed.
That's between you and the selectmen and the board and people
Well,
in the town.
You.
And that's why I think we're caught in between right now.
You're making an assertion, and I am adding some information that's recorded as part of our meeting as to how this developed. And one of your assertions is that the Conservation Commission had plenty of time to make a response, and I'm telling you, we should have, but we did not.
Ernie, can I speak 1 second? At the last meeting, I'm Justin Dufo, I'm the executive.
Please come up to the mic so we can hear you, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin Dufo. I am the Director of Real Estate for Tebow Corporation. At the last meeting, Mr. Naja pointed out saying that he acknowledged that you did receive notification, and within that 14-day period, from my recollection, he went ahead and stated that you did respond. Now, if that's the case, someone's not speaking correctly.
Hold on 1 second. So there are a couple different things, like Ernie was talking about, I think, the process in the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I was referring to.
You're talking about the
wetlands
DES.
permit.
No, I was talking about what you're talking about, the wetlands.
So the wetlands permit, I believe Zuzu's the one who actually put the actual written response into DES. So that did go in from us. That absolutely did go in.
We were never notified on anything to the best of my
I don't think
knowledge.
they needed to notify you. I mean, that went to
What
DES.
was the response, though? Did you bring up the,
Zuzu's got it.
She just said she was gonna maybe add the site to her list of locations to check out in person. I'm trying to see if I can find
Yeah, that's in town email.
and there was really no further follow-up.
But there are comments, Zuzu, that you,
Yeah,
you know, you create
yeah, I
a synopsis and
summarized our
send it to her.
concerns.
Yeah, so that's all, that's a record of that.
yeah, but did you make a comment then that you opposed it?
Zuzu could probably print that out or forward it to Naomi and print that out for you, so I'm not trying to,
No, I don't.
yeah, just, I'd rather have it exactly, you know.
Well, then send it to us, because we were told, like, we were told by my engineer there was no response, but if you made a response, then that's fine, but did you make a negative response saying that you didn't approve of the box culvert?
We don't approve or disapprove.
I know, but you give a comment.
Yeah.
You commented on it right along.
Commented, I believe I mean, you have to read the comment. I
Okay.
can't make it up for you 2
Okay.
years later, a year later, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was not a formal comment, which I believe is not really required of us. It was, sorry, there's a lot of emails.
We have the record of this meeting where we discussed, it's the videotape record, it's the minutes in record where we discussed our awareness of the fact that there was an application for wetlands permit before the Wetlands Bureau within Environmental Services. So we discussed at that meeting, so our position was established at that meeting, and we had a person who's gonna share that information with DES. So if you want to see what
Okay,
our opinion was at that time, in addition to what Zuzu has for records and that are part of our town email, we have our minutes, we have our recording from conservation meeting quite a while back, and I admit it was quite a while back.
I spoke with Jessica Schultz at DES in May of 2024. and then sent her an email outlining our concerns, which I can read out if wanted, but she responded, "Thank you for your comments, I will add them to the project file," so presumably they're in the project file. And she stated that she would add it to her list of sites to visit.
Would you mind, your comments too lengthy to?
No, I said, as a commission, our main concern from a site visit to the project area was that the stream may be a significant wildlife corridor. A fill of the magnitude proposed would greatly impede wildlife travel between the town-owned conservation land immediately upstream and downstream of the project area, including Duck Pond, where we are aware of the presence of the federal candidate species wood turtle. We also wanted to note a significant construction-related failure of the slope south of the project area on lot 62.30, which appears to be depositing sediment into the wetland. We feel that a site visit may be warranted from DES to get a fuller picture of the current conditions and potential impact. It is our opinion that the original proposal of a bridge would be preferable.
Okay.
And that was May 21st, 2024.
Okay. But there was no discussion at that time of impeding on the easement area or anything like that, correct? That wasn't a concern of yours at the time?
That was a concern, but that was a concern for local ordinance. That was not a concern for the state.
Okay.
Is
I
that,
did say a fill would impede wildlife travel and, oh, I'm sorry. I did not mention the encroachment on the easement area.
so that's a separate issue from what the state's rules allow them to consider. So that was not the main point of any discussion with the state. That would be a point of discussion with our planning board.
That's my lawyer's response, but I think really articulates where we stand. I just want to make sure everybody has it. Oops, there you go. There you go. Jack, you have it? You have one?
No. Can I say something
Go right ahead, Ray.
as one construction person to another?
Sure,
This bridge, once the road is accepted, would belong to the town.
that's correct,
Now the town has to maintain a bridge.
correct.
Bridges need to be maintained. A long-term, looking ahead long-term, that's gonna cost the taxpayers money.
That's what Steve Keach's position.
And you already bought the box culverts to do that long run.
Yep,
This is just hypothetical.
Sure.
Not binding on anything, being a construction person.
Yep.
What if those box culverts were put together side by side, shorter? Which would make the slope shorter. Jack touched on this at the selectmen meeting. And you build those Mitchie retaining wall structures along where the toe of the slope would be here normally, the retaining wall would be here now. It wouldn't encroach on the subject land, right?
I got a picture of that if you want it.
Yeah, I've done them.
I got a picture of
You
what
got a
I'm
picture of
talking
it
about.
too. I'm just saying.
No. Listen, I'm still very adamant at the fact that if you read the easement language, and I think even Jack touched on it when he spoke about it in his meeting, it's very open-ended, it doesn't give meets and bounds, and I've had 3 land attorneys look at it. And it's the same easement I have in many deeds that have given land to towns. It allows us to build, fill slopes, drainage, culverts, roadway, and it even spells it out. And that's where, if you don't, it's very narrow-minded to look at it. This thing's been going on for 2 years. I've had total disconnect with the town at some points where we ask, are we ready for a construction meeting? 3 months goes by, 4 months goes by, there's no contact. You know, Craig, who's an engineer, Francisco's looked at it, the board signed off on it. It's just been and now all of a sudden we're getting ready to construct it, and we get a nefarious letter from this town attorney that we've never even dealt with that says, this is our position. That's how we found out about it. There's no correspondence with Naomi or anybody else. We got the letter. My lawyer sent that letter back, and I know that at the last meeting, I think it was, is it Andy?
Me?
Yeah?
Steve.
Steve, I'm sorry, Steve. You had mentioned before, I was sitting here, you looked back at me and you said, is there something that you would, maybe we could change the language that works for you people, and there might be some, you wanted me to negotiate something with the water rights for Duck Pond, that's how I took it, that you wanted to, something that would make it.
So if we're trading like some of the, we have to go to the Attorney General's office, remember that part?
That's not an issue, though. If you have both sides agree to it, it's a simple, you're talking about, what, the riprap intercedes, whatever it is, I don't know, Jack had the numbers, it was 12 or 14 feet into that area, and part of the little area, the wing walls, and we're talking about a small, if your position is right, okay, which I don't think it is. We're talking
It's the attorney's position, not my position personally,
okay,
it was reviewed, so.
okay. So, if the town's position, or the Concom's position, whatever it is, I strongly disagree with it. And I'm not a litigious guy, I'm not a wise guy. I've built all over the state, but I am so pissed off about it, I just want to litigate it. And I really feel, that's how strongly I feel about it. At this point, I don't even really care. If you want to try to do something with the duck pond thing and some language, that's fine. My attorney said he could work with the town attorney, do the language. You want something to do with the water rights with Duck Pond, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's fine too.
So, yeah, Ernie, if you, I don't want you to be upset.
I am just,
I got
2 years of this.
Yeah, we're coming in late, right, so, I mean.
Okay, well, there's a big disconnect in the town then too. Between you guys and the town, it appears to me to be.
Communications poor.
Okay.
Agreed. So, no, what I was throwing out there was, so when you look at the Duck Pond subdivision, it would be super to get rid of those restrictions in the backyards of the lots that you haven't developed. And I think that acreage equation, I don't know if you're right about the whole, if there was extra acreage, those should have never been there, because it's not cool. If you got someone's got a 2-acre lot, who wants to have the back?
No, I agree with you, you said that. I wasn't, that was something, Tier Moran did it so long ago, and there was some negotiations. I was talking about the overall land mass that was needed.
Yeah.
You didn't need the piece around Duck Pond, you didn't need the other piece up by, the open field up in the back. There's a big wet area out there that's kind of nice when you go out there, and we gave that also.
So I'm not sure of that. So what I was throwing out to you is like, it would be great if, so we've got this Duck Pond problem that we're gonna talk about next, so if you can hang for that. But and I think, talking with Jack a little bit about this, so if we can do something with the part of the pond you own. See, our hang up, or at least my hang up, I'm more of a biologist kind of guy. That's my professional background. So when Andy went over, clearly the bridge is better for wildlife. What you're proposing is worse. So I mean, like, me personally, as a Conservation Commission member, thinks, all right, there's sort of a trade to be had there as far as ecologically. I'm not trying to throw you over a barrel or anything, but as far as management of the pond goes, by the Conservation Commission, in trade for the loss in habitat value that your box culvert causes compared to the bridge, there is something there, right? We can agree or disagree on how much it actually is, but it's not as good as the bridge. So that was kind of the point. And then the other point was just, if there's any way of getting rid of those, just let people own their land and not have a restriction on the back third of I'd be totally game for killing that restriction.
Well, that's easy enough to just change the deed and the restrictions on it. That's easy enough to do.
Yeah, I think planning board would have to go along with it, but I mean, it's like impossible. It's just dumb all around. It's not cool for us to try to tell someone what to do.
And what do you exactly, just so that we're clear, what are you looking for with Duck Pond that I have, that basically any water rights that I may control or have, that I would cede those to the town or the Concon? Is that what you're looking for, or something to that?
You own whatever you're comfortable with. You own a part of the pond, right?
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, like we own maybe a third to a half, and you own basically the rest.
Right.
And so right now, we've got a beaver management issue. I don't know if you were there when we were talking.
I was there,
about
yeah.
Yeah. So USDA Wildlife Services, we actually got one form here for your consideration and one for ours, and then we're funding it to put in a beaver deceiver. So anything that goes on with that beaver dam, part of it's on your land, as far as where a beaver deceiver's gotta go. So, yeah, I don't know if you wanna give an easement, give the land and the wetland, I mean, you can't really do anything with it, or what legally is the best, or just some kind of an agreement, but something allow us to manage that. Because right now, for instance, if we go in and take some of the beavers out and put that deceiver in, there's this USDA form for your consideration. you know, for the immediate problem.
Yeah.
That they need signed to be able to do anything there.
Steve, as I said to you when you first brought it up to me, I'm fine with that. My biggest thing is, you know, we differ on this, and I'm feel strongly in my position, but more egregious is that fact that it's been going on for 2 years, and there was total miscommunication. I've done everything I was supposed to do. I've done all the meetings, I've done the engineering, the payments, waited another 2 years. Now I'm gonna miss another construction season.
It's very unfortunate, poor communication.
Okay, okay.
I would hope you don't blame us for that. 'Cause we don't have any way of knowing about something that we don't know about.
Well, it surely isn't my problem, or my problem, I didn't cause it. So we communicated every bit of the way.
Agreed.
So I'm here to try to fix a problem, but I'm looking to do something quickly, and I don't want it drawn out for months. And if you want to do something, I'm glad to see the water rights. You have your attorney talk to mine, and also if you don't, if that language about, you know, the conservation thing on the back of the lots, if you want that to be removed, because I think it is problematic.
Do you know if any of those lots were sold yet that have that restriction on them?
There's of the 60 lots, there's 12 that have been sold and built on.
Do we
and so-
know if any of those have that?
You know, I'd have to check. And if that's, you know, if they have been, then, you know, that's something a homeowner would have to agree to, you know,
Right, we
so.
might be able to tackle, I'm sure they're gonna be happy to get rid of that in their backyard, you know?
Yeah, well, that'd be something that, you know, you would have to do if you wanted to do it singularly. The rest of the 48, we can remove that restriction.
And, yeah, we got the map, right? Do you know which one those are?
It's all the ones that, you just come, when you come in, the T right there, it's just the one right, all 12 right in a row.
I wonder if it's the ones with the houses already
Yeah,
on.
that's it.
No,
Nothing else has been sold.
Oh, no, but I'm saying the ones that got those, they have the restrictions on them.
That hasn't been built yet.
So that's Road A, yeah, these ones have. This batch here, but this one,
Which-
these ones, those ones. So there's a bunch of them you can probably,
Well, hold on. That's a different pattern than this.
no, this pattern is the one with isn't that the restriction?
That's different than this one over here that says conservation easements.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that's different.
That's well radius or something, isn't it?
What's that one there?
I guess, protected well radius easements. And that-
Oh, that's weird, huh?
So
it's this one?
this
Yeah,
and
that.
these.
yeah, so you might still own them all. That'd be sweet to kill that. 'cause
That's
it's,
fine.
So, I mean, we're gonna have to go to the planning board, so I don't know how quick, when's their meeting? Tomorrow night. So I don't know if, how would we convey that?
What would the plan would have to do to remove the,
Because their ordinance, they'd have to do that. Jack knows all about the ZBA stuff too, but I don't, if there's enough land there between the pond thing, we'd have to look at the
but you know,
ordinance, right?
Steve, the other thing we could do too is we could agree on the language that's needed
Yeah.
for the culvert, that, you know, that from your side that you think's needed. You can obviously have the attorneys look at whatever language you want for the water rights or, you know, setbacks on Duck Pond.
Yeah.
And tie that together. I can give you a letter or an email stating that I'm not opposed to, you know, removing those restrictions on those lots. And, well, my lawyer can send you a letter to that, and basically we're on the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, the commission has to agree and the attorneys could deal with the language, yeah. I'm-
Well, you guys have to vote on it and see if you want to do it. If you want to do it, that's great. If you don't, that's fine.
I mean, that sounds great to me personally.
Okay.
Everybody else gotta weigh in.
Summarize what, it's a swap essentially?
Yeah, so we're looking to manage Duck Pond in its entirety.
Okay, yeah.
And we're looking to get rid of, this is the Steve
Well, that-
Gage, our
yeah,
grand
yeah.
plan, to get rid of easements in people's backyards.
Yep.
So we don't have to enforce that.
Yeah.
And in lieu of that,
He's looking,
So
then,
that is a, removing the easement on the back portion of those residential lots, we view as a gain for the developer, right? Because you then have lots that you can sell without that easement restriction.
I think it's a gain for the future landowner. I
A
think some
gain
people
for
are
the
too
future
numb to really
landowner
understand
and a
that.
gain for the Conservation Commission.
there's no gain really for me. I've not affected my sales.
Yeah, it's all yeah, so what it really does is gets us out of, enforcing, just like that other, what's the name of that development that's been a hassle in the past? No, the one up on the hill.
Portland.
Yeah. So, but really, you know, from a biological perspective, we're saying, you know, now we're gonna be able to manage the pond and protect that, and we are losing a little function with the
Culvert.
box culvert
Yep.
instead of the bridge.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I'd be for that. You guys can all decide how you feel about that.
Anything to say, Jack, on that? I know you've been working on it.
Well, I only did it just to, I'm a recovering engineer,
Yeah.
so this is the sort of stuff we do, figure out what's going on, so I just wanted to understand better for the board, because there was a lot of confusion in the room. So I brought back basically the pages that Andy's looking at, and just showed him, here's the issue, you know, the big 42 pages, the actual one that showed where the bridge should be never showed the bridge. But there's a little tiny bridge on the top of one of the slopes that did show the bridge, but it never showed it in the actual design, so it could easily be overlooked. It's obvious that the wings were beyond the 25 feet. And then the language, which the lawyer speaks, I mean, I've done my career full of specifications and contracts, and it depends which side you're on. I mean, there's two lawyers, they got two different opinions. It's not cut and white, black and white, so. I think it'd be good for the town and good for the contractor if they get together, especially on Duck Pond, getting an easement for that use on the surface, because there'll always be a problem. And you guys can solve that problem. So if that is enough weight to offset the encumbrance on the wetland at the, both the slope, because there's gonna be a significant slope there. And, I mean, I went there and looked, and I was like, whoa, this is bigger than I thought. Not insignificant. And Duck Pond side actually protruded an extra maybe 5 or 6 or 8 feet further because it's lower on the slope. So if that works for the Conservation Commission, I think it's a win-win for the town, but I'm just, Select Board has no position on this.
Well, you're certainly right, Jack, that it looks as though this set of plans does not include C/S1-C/S3, the conspan plans.
We probably got it downstairs. What's that in there? Do you need it? Just need the key to get on and grab it.
What are you looking for?
What's downstairs.
I might have it. What are you looking for?
One of the ideas was, that I've had, is to look at the statement of design and construction for the bridge, the
Oh, I might not have it.
concrete span.
I might not have it.
And I'm saying I do not see that, even though it's listed in the index of sheets, as a portion of this set of plans. So it's,
Well, it kind of does and it doesn't, if I may.
go right ahead, Jack.
I mean, I appreciate Mary Ann spending 2 hours with me, educating me on 42 pages of this design, and then Craig spent another 2 hours with me explaining what really happened. And this may not settle it, but I'll just go through it. You're welcome to look at this too.
No, I've seen it many times.
But then you'll see this is his initial. I just drew this on here to show from the discussion was pushing this back, which would have pushed that back. This is his land. This is the only impact on this side. Putting a barrier here to allow, or to prevent the encroachment, and moving this back to this line. This is the 25-foot line, which even the wings on the bridge extends beyond it significantly, on both sides. So this is Duck Pond down. This is my little device I use. This is Duck Pond down here, and this is clipped off a back page, I got it back here. But it's basically, this is the bridge that was shown up in the top corner of one of the bridge designs, or I should say, dimensional design. So the road comes through, this is where the bridge would be on the Duck Pond lower side, the drain. This is NBAC's property. This is conservation property. Even these wings here always protruded, always across, if you see. This is the line from the 25 feet right here. These wings come out significantly beyond.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I mean, I think we got like a killer agreement here. Like, I don't even know why we're bothering with this right now.
I'm happy
Does
not to
any, is anyone really like, opposed to what Ernie said, or? Cause it just seems like it's like super reasonable, just to do that, if you could.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd push that.
My position is, I don't think the town should want another bridge to maintain.
I have a very different feeling than Ray does on that, and that was, we went through a lengthy process for a purpose,
Well, the
And-
wildlife corridor, but
and that was that's just a penalty of the land, you can't escape it, there's a very deep ravine there, and to
yeah. But that was my
deal with it,
suggestion.
either you
with
put a lot of
retaining
fill
walls
in,
and
or
keeping
you.
the box culvert shorter. By doubling it up, the wildlife can get through. That's just an idea I was throwing out. I had that idea when we looked at it last year.
Go right ahead, Steve.
I mean, I'm just trying to like, I think Ernie's got a problem because the town green-lighted something that shouldn't have. He's already got the culvert. We got a problem because we want to manage Duck Pond. We want to manage the open space in accordance with the, what we feel's in there, what our attorney's telling us. So I mean, to me, like, this kind of a middle-of-the-road deal on the table right now that we're kind of, to turn that down, I don't think is smart. And I think ecologically, it does a lot for the town. And I think the pond's the more important resource here. So, yeah, and I think, jointly, if we could come to that agreement, like Ernie was saying, and then we could get, I think that would go through between the two attorneys up to the state to get their approval, and then just kind of move on with it. That's just my thought, rather than try to, there's not a ton of land involved. I think it's, the design's bad, I mean.
But you just heard Jack say, thank you he spent a lot of time, he's very communicative about it, and he's called me numerous times on behalf of the town, and did a great job. But as he just said, even the wing walls were outside of your so-called easement,
Yeah,
that was approved 20 years ago.
With the condition stated within the easement as shown on the plans.
You have a totally different take than I do, so I
So
don't,
when we go to what's shown on the plans, it's either,
right.
acceptable because it's on the plans, or we're going away from the plans, and then it changes the criteria.
okay, all right.
What do you think, Andy, though? I mean, you kind of, you think about, I mean, to me, this is a good deal, as far as a fair deal. We do kind of what's been proposed. I don't think it's worth beating it up over the bridge and the the easement language. I think we're doing the right thing at that point.
Well, you got the makings of a motion, and, it's on a motion made and seconded that we will establish position and suggest a way forward, so. Formalize it into a motion. It's confident we have a second there, we can vote it and see where we're at.
There's a few steps in this thing, it's not like as straightforward as we're thinking. Give me a second, just to.
Sure.
just a question, maybe Jack or Naomi. So, at the end of the day, the town ends up, so the class 5 road, the town, thinking, do we need to get that relocated on the, I guess it would be relocated on the plan, or we just don't care that it's, because it's
not
all
real.
gonna be.
If you go with the culvert,
Yeah.
or his plan,
Yeah,
and the the rights change for the water, you don't need to touch anything.
no, I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of encroachment on the conservation land. I'm just wondering if we need to have that nailed exactly down, or we just don't, we
Well,
don't
I-
care at that point.
I'll be honest with you, I mean, this is my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but the language in the deed and the fact that the design showed the slopes and drainage being affected, I don't know, unless you can put something in, you could put something in the fact that,
Well,
well, I actually have a design that shows what they're gonna do.
Don't, actually, don't worry, I have answered my own question in my head, don't worry about it, we're good.
But if the slope encroaches on the conservation land,
We're gonna own it
isn't
all.
the land where the slope is on still conservation land anyway?
It is,
It
but
is.
if you read, depending how you read the deed, and I'm not suggesting I'm taking sides, if I was on his side, I could say, well, since the slopes and the encroachment for the wings of the bridge already go into the
Right.
setback, go beyond the setback, then that's why that is in there.
No,
to
no,
allow
that's
that.
not, that's not what I'm asking at all, Jack, I'm just, whether we needed to relocate the actual property line.
I don't
We
think you have
we
to
don't.
touch anything.
No, no, because I mean, you're just gonna end up with a fill on the town.
But I would ask you, how do you know what he's gonna do? You should have a design.
You have the design from my engineer.
Well, is it a real design or is it just a paper design?
No, he has, well, obviously, there's a full set of plans of design because.
Oh, it's
the
upstairs?
DES wouldn't have approved it without
Okay, I didn't get that.
Sure.
That's upstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
DS was not just gonna let you draw it on a little piece of paper. I mean,
what I was saying-
took them 14, 15 months to review it, so I hope they did something.
I didn't have it here, I gotta.
That's okay, I can send it to you. We can make that part of the record, but I just don't wanna get too voluminous on this whole thing and have pages and pages and pages of stuff, that's all. If you wanna do a simple agreement, we'll do it and move on with life.
So what do you call that, what do you call that thing you went for to make the change? What's the name of that document? Well, to make the change that you're talking about, you got.
Yes, the wetlands.
We have to go through a wetlands impact permit, I believe.
So you should reference,
Dredge and fill permit application.
right,
Yeah.
that should be your reference. So whatever that is, it is, as shown on.
Alright, I'll try not to be too loose with this thing, the only part of it is just, getting the two attorneys together to work out the actual details. So, I'm gonna make a motion that the Conservation Commission recommend changes to the duck pond development, subject to planning board approval. The changes will be, removing the conservation easements in the building lots, having NVAC either deed or through an irrevocable agreement, allow the management of duck pond by the town. We'll say Town Conservation Commission in that case.
So I
So-
just-
Maybe add more, I'm sorry,
Well,
Duck
let me get
pond.
through everything.
Sure, sure,
We can
okay.
open, and
Duck
then-
pond what?
water, yeah, I was gonna say water rights or so, yeah, something.
That's what you should say.
Yeah, we'll change that afterwards, we can talk about that. Approve the change from a bridge to a culvert as it relates to the encroachment on town conservation land. Because that's really the only thing in our purview. And then we'll have the NBAC attorney and the town attorney draft an agreement to implement this entire change. And then, let me explain that, because there's some pieces that I can't sitting here, you know, tell you exactly what the correct document is, because we know that it has to go to, the Attorney General's office. And then,
Yeah, I've talked to my attorney at length, and he said it's a very simple change.
Good.
And if a letter goes up from both parties that it's approved, it's a rubber stamp, basically.
probably
And,
filed in the registry of
right,
deeds, probably.
right.
Yeah, good. And then,
then we record such at at Registry of Deeds.
right, and there'll be I don't know, planning board might make you do a change in that one plan that shows the easements, or make somebody do one. So, anybody want to second that?
Do we have a second?
Before we second it, when you say that, the water rights, does that change the property lines also?
No.
No. So the property lines still
Let's-
belong to,
Let's get into discussion on that. So, yeah, I mean, I said duck pond.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, so we need to, and I guess if you, I could probably modify that. So we, that's sort of bare minimum would be the water rights. I mean, to me, the, you know, the entire management of the water body itself is what the goal is, you know, for, so we wouldn't have to come back to you for like beaver trap.
I mean, like, listen, to make it simple, I'm okay with water rights, so if you wanted to have a 100-foot strip of easement all around it that you controlled or something like that, you know, that's fine, either or.
Okay, so.
But you're more concerned with the water rights at this point, but you also want to control some of the upland that's on the shore of the duck pond, correct?
I mean, I'm more concerned with the biology of the whole situation, so it's more than just the water. I mean, Jack threw that term, and that's why I said.
Okay, but I'm record saying I'm open to that, I'm not deeding any land or ceding any land, but
Yeah.
I would definitely do an easement
Yeah, it would
and
be-
or mention, that's fine.
To manage the pond, so we'll
That's
get the
fine.
attorneys to deal with us, so you're good with up to 100
Yeah.
feet, that's even better. So, yeah, that slight modification, so, so, yeah, I mean, that's.
yeah. I'll second it.
All right. Motion made by Steve, seconded by Ray. And what's the magic language? So moved? So, is that the magic language we learned?
It's too late, it's already been
Too late.
motioned.
Sorry.
We're not moving anything.
Now, you, well, so, you know, so you want discussion, all right?
Right. Do we have further discussion on the motion?
I think it's good middle ground. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's a great middle ground.
Yep.
At the present moment, what percentage of duck pond do we?
It's about 50/50.
Yeah, we're a little under 50, but, yeah, we're around there.
We don't control the beaver dam.
I'm gonna give you the beaver dam, how's that?
I think that's on state.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, there being no discussion offered, all in favor of Steve's motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Aye. And that's no abstentions, so for the record, we've got Ray and Mike and Steve and Mark and Zuzu in favor. And Andy opposed. So that establishes a position, that is the position of the Conservation Commission. At this juncture, it establishes a potential way forward. And the key next step that I see would be for the town attorney and Ernie, for your attorney to hash something out, work on the nuts and bolts, and we've got Jack here, who, if you have any questions, Jack, of where we are, you know, we can work on those to make sure that you can report back, as is so valuable to this commission, to the selectmen, as to what transpired. And
I'm happy to bring back, I'll just speak at it the next
Yeah.
time, when
Right.
it comes to other boards. And I think it's a win-win. I think it was a sleeping dog. It took 20 years, 19 years to raise its head. And I think it's a compromise, and I think merits on both sides.
So the devil's in the details, and let's see if we can work out some details without that being the case. Steve, go ahead.
So it doesn't go sideways, the Conservation Commission, we need to get with the town attorney to have a back and forth open discussion about what the intent was of the motion, just to make sure that he understands before he accidentally, two attorneys, your attorney will get your input, and I think we should, give them
Oh,
our input.
absolutely, we can't-
Before before they.
And I think that's a fairly, it's not a very difficult process to give you an easement and then to write this language, to change the language. My attorney thought it was very, very simplistic. But the other thing I would like to mention while we're on public record here is, once the agreement is signed and done, and, letters of favorability go up to the AG, if they're backlogged and we can't get it, I'm looking to start the project and get a construction meeting and start the project once we sign our agreement.
I think you're gonna have to get the Attorney General's hack off, Ernie, because I don't know, you have to ask our attorney, but that was.
My attorney didn't think so. I think we had agreement on both sides, and it's gonna take a long time to get, the box cover's not gonna be done in a week. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a lot of time, so I'd like to have at least an open mind to that. If the lawyers can figure out a way to let that, and the town, Steve Keach or the selectmen don't have an issue with it. Like I said, I'm gonna miss another construction season, and this has been like a 2-year odyssey here, and I'm looking to get going with it. So that's just throwing it out there. I would think if you have an agreement on both parties, and when you send the letter up, favorability of both sides have agreed to this, I don't know, I don't see, other than time, how the Attorney General would say, no, I don't want you to get the water rights to Duck Pond, and don't let him put the box cover in. That would be just a very ridiculous position.
I'll be a stick in the mud. Sounds like jumping the gun, but, you've had your attorney talk with you about that concept. We haven't had that with our attorney, so we're kind of behind where you've arrived, so.
I just wanted to put it out there, because like I said, we all had agreements before that we made an agreement, and then you wait, I don't think there's anything here the Attorney General would find to be problematic. But again, who knows what it would take, time-wise.
Maybe we can get our attorney, or your attorney can call them,
Right, that's a good point too. I think if we're all in agreement,
someone talks to someone.
yeah, and they want to get the stuff off their desk, and this is something that they're probably not going to spend very, very long looking at.
Right.
So, all right.
It should be simple. If the two attorneys hash it out.
Right.
All they gotta do is give us what they've hashed out. We do one little quick meeting, yep, yes, got done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Please, Jack.
my experience dealing with attorneys is gonna be very simple. You agree to the permit, okay, for exchange for the surface water rights, or whatever the legal term of that is, for the remainder of under NBAC land, over on NBAC land. And then there's some other little details about relinquishing the lots restrictions. It's just that simple. That's what the decision here tonight was.
Well, you're saying it doesn't have to go to the Attorney General, in your mind?
Well, I'm saying it does, but I'm saying when they talk to their attorney,
Yeah.
you agree with the change, okay, per the state's approval, and you get the water rights, and he gets some relaxation on some of the lot restrictions.
I think that's gonna have to be a binding agreement. Let's let the attorneys do
I'm
their
just
work,
saying-
though, and not get it knocked out.
That's the essence of what you kind of agreed to.
Well, my attorney's been watching the meeting, so I'm sure he'll watch this one. He'll get the flavor of the whole thing, and I'll meet him or send him an email. I'm sure and you can instruct your attorney, so I'm sure, it doesn't seem like it's rocket science is here. We'll just move on and get it done, so.
I think it's a fair compromise.
There's no reason why it should drag. There's no reason.
It's just how we live nowadays.
It's kind of a dry fall, so it would be not a bad time trying to get it in.
That's exactly why I'm trying to hopefully expedite the process,
It's
so.
so dry,
I know.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to catch up, so.
Well, Thank you for your time, and thanks for being open-minded about it. I appreciate it.
Anything on
Sure.
please.
All right, moving on to step 2 of considerations around duck pond.
So we've got, a agreement from USDA Wildlife Services. I talked to Nick, who's the biologist, David Allegan's the state director. The financial plan on the back, I had him include some trapping, on top of the beaver deceiver. So, as best I can tell, I think the beaver deceiver and the trapping would definitely occur on, multiple ownerships. The deceiver is probably gonna go from state onto NBAC. That's that long flexible pipe that, the beavers build around it, but they don't plug it. And then for, Nick had put, on section 4 of the form, we put the different, equipment that they could be using, like a body grip trap, suitcase, the exclusion. I guess you'd probably use conibears too, but maybe not. So the budget got bumped a hair. I think we put up to $3,000, so we're still within the motion of last year. So I don't know in this case, whether Andy is gonna be the cooperative signature, or Naomi, or the chair of the Board of Selectmen. So that's gonna be the contract. What do you think, Naomi? Do you want
I
us
think
to
our
sign it?
discussion before was, we want the selectmen to maintain the contract.
What does
That
landowner
was gonna get the
Ernie
phone call?
mean?
Huh?
That was gonna get the phone call when Duck Pond goes over?
No, I mean, Nick, we can, we can
That
call
was a
Nick.
concern Jason had.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can call Nick. We just, we gotta throw more money at it if that doesn't work, right? But this is for the initial build and for trapping. We can keep tossing money into it from conservation, but we're the agents to expend, so should we sign it?
Of the conservation
If we're
fund?
paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm still unclear, when you had the selectmen meeting and talked about all of this, is Jason on, he said that if we do this, he really doesn't wanna have any part of it, to clean it or whatever, so who would? Would we hire somebody to do that?
No, so the USDA is gonna manage the beaver deceiver.
They'll manage it and clean it?
If it needs cleaning, we can pay them to clean it or reconfigure it so it's working better. Now, the thing about, DPW is completely out of it. Well, no, not really. I mean, if USDA says, we really could use someone with a backhoe over here, are we really, because otherwise you're looking at giving USDA money to pay, some federal rate for
Right.
someone to come in with a backhoe when we have one that's,
Yeah. I
pretty
think
expensive.
Jason was just concerned that he'd get an emergency call and then he'd have to deal with it,
Yeah, I think,
after we're trying to deal with it, so,
I mean, Duck Pond is floating over.
yeah,
yeah, this should cut out the emergencies.
yeah.
That's the intent. I'm not saying it's not gonna need maintenance, so, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? I mean,
Right,
even think about it right now, as a town, we're in there, I guess we're in there because it's flooding
Duck Pond
town
Road.
road, but really, it's on state land where we're in there doing the work,
yeah,
So, we have a nexus as a conservation commission, because we own a big portion of the pond. And, we wanna see the overall wildlife benefit managed. When you keep all these fluctuations, especially earlier in the year, you start killing turtles off, and we know what's in there, in the area.
I'm just concerned about, we do things, we get scolded, somebody doesn't agree. I just would like to make sure that we do something and nobody bothers us after we do it.
This is all in public like 3 times now.
I know.
We've had discussions on this. And then, if we sign this, then we have the work initiation document, and Nick made that out, and then he'll sign it, and then there's one for us for the non-private property, and there's one for MBAC as the private property. So what I will do is I'll make a motion for Andy to approve the cooperative signature on the agreement. It's gonna have to go to Beth for the, tax ID, and then Beth can send it back to us, and I can get it to Nick once that's all set, and,
I can provide you the tax ID,
okay, you got it tonight?
right on the top of my head. not gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. So we'll get that. So then we would get the agreement signed and we'll send it to Beth. All right.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Oh, hold on.
If you look at page 2 on this big tome right here, this, page 2 of this 42-page document right here in front of you.
Plans.
Those Dead Sea Scrolls here, open them up. You'll see that the state actually owns a minority piece of that property. It protrudes, that lake design protrudes. So are they the third party has to agree? Because this is USDA,
Yeah,
or US, whatever.
I don't think Nick thinks that the state has to approve, but I
Okay,
can
well,
have him give him
I'm
a
just-
call.
I'm just raising it because there are 3 entities dealing with this problem.
They work with them all the time.
It's not just it's just not the water leaving, it's the actual.
Ownership. Yeah, I got you.
it
The dam's
protrudes.
on state. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it previously, yeah.
Yeah, he knew that. Nick knew that. So for whatever reason,
Okay.
maybe they've already got a statewide agreement with the
We're
state.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nick might
All
have
right.
one for, so let me finish the,
Have we finished the motion?
no. we
Okay.
got- So Andy will, so the chair will sign the agreement and we'll get the tax ID from Naomi. And then the chair would sign the work initiation document as the landowner. And then we would ask NBAC to sign the work initiation document as the private landowner. That's my motion.
Second.
All right. So there's a motion. Duly seconded. Motion by Steve, seconded by Ray. Do we have any further discussion on this one? And this is, point I want to take up with you, Jack, is I just want to be sure we're not overstepping onto selectmen's toes for signing a contract with USDA. I know we discussed this with the selectmen and there was agreement to move forward in this direction, but I don't want to be, on a Monday night's hearing, oh, well, that's nice, but they were supposed to report back to us and then we were gonna sign that. Do you have any sense on that?
I'm new to the game too.
Yeah.
The 18th, I will happily bring that up and see if anybody wants to sign it. It'll have to wait to the 18th.
Steve, have you any sense on that in your discussions?
Might not remember it right, but I think Benji mentioned that if we wanted to deal with it, he'd be happy to let us deal with it, but that's just from my memory.
If you can wait till the 18th, I'll sure I bring that up.
Okay, so I'm gonna modify my motion to say contingent on
Better
Board of
yet,
Selectmen
Can
approval.
you sign it all
Sign it.
and send it there and ask them if they wish to countersign? That'd be the easiest way. Get it all done,
It would.
ship it for the 28th. If they say go ahead without us, go ahead without you. You know what I'm saying? That may be the cleanest way. This one, they got an instrument in front of them.
Yeah, we can sign it contingent
So
upon.
that would
the
sound like
selectmen.
a modification to the motion that would have a contingency subject to,
Approval?
Yep.
No, no, but he just said it would. You'd still just sign it and then they can decide if they wanna sign it or not. If
Send
they
it up
don't,
to
the
the
motion,
select
it
board.
didn't matter either way for the motion.
Give it to Naomi to bring it to the select board, and we'll deal with it there. And if it's, we don't care, you're set. If it's, we care, we'll sign. So-
Yeah, doesn't affect the motion.
fair
And
enough.
where I'm involved also, when are you looking me to sign that before we have an agreement?
For this, if you don't mind, just to deal with the beavers.
That's just to commence the work on the beaver dam, to
Just the
remove it?
beavers, yeah.
Okay. Huh? It's only, yeah, this is just to commence the work to remove the beavers, that's all it is?
So it's probably to thin the beavers and to put that beaver deceiver in. The beaver deceiver is primarily on state, but that pipe might go onto your property.
Right.
Like it's a flexible culvert, that's all it is,
It
it's
goes
just
out into the
HDPE.
pond,
Yeah.
and we're on the side of the pond that you own.
It's probably a 24-inch culvert with a wire, just like a wire fence around it so they can't plug it up.
I don't have any real objection to it. I think I'd rather just talk to my attorney first to make sure that, I kind of look at that as a part of the full agreement that we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, we'd really like to move, I mean, the beavers are causing road problems.
I would really like to move the lot quicker too.
I'm not dying over it. I think we're all on the same page, Ernie.
And listen, I'm very easy to work with. I mean, I just want to run it by, give me the document and
Yeah, here you go, man.
I'll look at it.
Thank you.
I'll get back to you, okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
probably just send it to Naomi or our, you know, our,
Huh?
All right, so we've got a motion, we got it duly seconded. Do we have any further comment on the motion?
oh, no, just if you're gonna take off, Ernie, you know, if you have any questions, that phone number on the form,
Yeah.
that's Nick, I think that's Nick's direct number.
Okay.
But I might, yeah, so just, you can call Nick and talk it over with him. So he's a good guy.
All right, okay. Thanks for your time. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Take care. All right. Here we still are. Shall we take a vote on that motion, or do we have further discussion?
I just want to, I'm a yes either way, but, so we're just gonna let the selectmen decide at their meeting who's gonna sign it, or are we signing it and then with their approval, it'll get mailed out?
If it's needed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it just wouldn't go until after the next selectmen meeting. And Jack would say, here's what conservation did, here's the paper. Are we good with them signing it? Do we want to co-sign it? If we want to co-sign it, here's a motion. Everybody approves, whatever, co-sign. They
That's
don't
next
need it,
Monday.
they say, we don't need it, off it
We'll
goes.
put it on the agenda, so it's, make sure it gets done.
And
Do
then,
that?
in theory, the last option could be, we've had a change of heart and we absolutely don't want conservation to do that, in which case, they hold on to it, it doesn't go.
Very good.
But it, like Steve said, in no way does that change
Motion.
our step here. All right, anything more? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, all in favor.
So you're gonna sign it, and Naomi's gonna put the ID, tax ID, and,
If you want me to take it, can we take it?
yeah, you can take it, yeah.
Because he'll scan his, send it back, and we put it together.
We are the cooperator.
You're gonna sign this as,
$20A.
yeah.
I do my bleeding on my own paper. Where is it, there's a date going now, what's a 20B signature?
Yeah, the signature, you're supposed to print your title, you got a copy, you can start over. So, you're Andy Fulton, you know, see like Nick, how Nick did it here?
No, I don't.
He hasn't signed it yet, so you're putting your name here, who you are, you're signing it there, and you're dating it there. So you can probably start over.
Who are you, Andy?
You want a fresh one?
I don't care, however you want to do
That's
that.
what I asked. Is there somewhere for an additional signature if Board of Selectmen has to sign? Or they would have to
Just sign at the bottom.
just add it?
Yeah, I mean, where it's conservation money and it's conservation land,
Yeah.
probably all okay. It's not like we're doing it, piece of town land. But if everybody likes them, I mean, you can plus that up and do it all over town where we having a problem. The prices aren't really bad, you know, for.
So what's your all's understanding on this? We received a piece of paper, it's now gotta go on our public record as being received today? As in
Let's talk about that later. It's on the agenda.
documents retention? So are we, I'm sorry, are we waiting for anything at this point, or you guys waiting on me?
Waiting on you.
Move the
All right,
agenda.
I thought we had something being copied, so.
Naomi's gonna take that, get it to the board of selectmen. And then I'll go from there.
And
Yeah.
then he's gonna scan it and send it once he's ready by his turn.
All right, so jumping up the agenda. We have review the June 11th, 2025 minutes. Anybody have the ability to review those and interest in making a motion regarding their status?
I did, but I forgot what they are now. Maybe I have it still.
I was absent.
Don't think there was anything marked. I'm not gonna say anything, because the last time I tried, it was, you know,
All right,
tough.
then on this one, I'm gonna say let's hold them
Yeah.
for now.
We just have June's, July's, we didn't have a meeting, and it'll be August at the next meeting.
So next meeting, we wanna look at
June
the
and August.
June and August ones, yeah. All right, let's move down to planning board. We have a plan to subdivide map 406, lot 9 into 3 single-family residential lots. A section of Sewell Hoyt Road, 284 feet, will be upgraded for a proposed lot 9-2 to have necessary frontage.
That's borders Army Corps land, isn't it?
There was supposed to be a walkthrough to that today, and there wasn't. It was canceled, so,
Planning board.
yeah.
Let's see, locus on this one.
So that back lot has like a 3,000 foot long driveway to get to it, in order to get above the 420 elevation. So, at some points, that driveway goes below the 420, but it's not technically in wetlands, it's just in the
floodplain.
floodplain of the Army Corps.
All right, so this is off of South Sugar Hill Road. Head south and then turn east at the end of the road before it gets to the Army Corps area.
Doesn't it come right into the Army Corps and the gates there? On Sewell Hoyt?
Yeah, the gate's quite far from where they're gonna end the improvement.
Yeah.
They're gonna do like 280 feet of improvement to the existing Class 6 road because it gets real narrow.
Yeah.
But the gate is probably 600 feet, 800 feet
Beyond
away
that.
from there.
Where are they looking to put the lot? I mean, the house.
I don't know why this is the first page.
One of the lots,
Says it is sheet 2, we just got them in the wrong order. Let's
one of
look
the
at
lots
sheet
is
1
the house
first,
that
might
burnt
help.
down. And
There
there's
we go.
one beyond it.
All right, there's Sewell.
They're looking to take, and put 3 houses here?
Yeah, 3 lots. But the one house, that driveway is almost like a right-of-way between the 2 lots along Seawolf Falls Road. And then that long, long driveway leads to a back lot. And that's where the 3rd one is.
Oh. So that's page 2, the back lot.
Is
Well,
there
there's
any
no-
septic? here?
John St. John,
Right there,
Oh, okay.
right there.
certified wetland scientist, number 221, delineated wetland boundaries in May 2024.
So the driveway's gotta go through this kind of wetland area here, right?
How many acres are the lots? Are they all,
Not 9, it looks like it would be 10 acres.
oh, and then 11?
11.3.
So I don't have to worry about the
9,
soil
1
table.
would be 11.31. Now, where's the description?
How wide that driveway is, 12 foot wide?
Well, every 400 feet, it has to be 20 feet wide. Every 400 feet, they have to have a turnout.
Really, on a private driveway?
Yeah. The main driveway will be 12 feet wide, and every 400 feet, it has to go 50 feet distance, 20 feet wide, so that 2 vehicles can pass. So they'll have a lot of turnouts if they've got a 3,000-foot-long driveway.
They don't show that, though.
No.
I'll show 'em
Well,
it's
they've got
12
a
foot wide.
proposed 30-foot easement.
No, what I'm saying, they're not showing the 20 foot.
turnouts.
Yeah.
So that's on
So-
the 50 foot, right on the edge. And this is in the easement here, or the setback.
Is 50 a building setback, though, and the 25 is the buffer?
It's 50 wetland setback here.
Yeah, but there's no building there, though.
No,
It really doesn't matter.
driveway going through it?
It's not a
Setback.
building. I don't think, I think a
Planning
driveway can
is
go in
gonna
the setback.
ask for a driveway profile from the engineer. He's gonna have to design a driveway, like a road profile.
Yeah.
With elevations and everything. So that's supposed to be in the works.
Yeah, I don't think roads or driveways are part of that setback. I think that's a building setback.
Okay, but then they would need a, dredge and fill permit, right?
No, they're in upland.
Okay, because they're not going through it, it's in, okay.
Yeah, they're not even in the buffer.
Yeah.
They're not even in the buffer, the 25-foot buffer. They stayed out of it. It's amazing that they all fit. Seems like the biggest problem they got going is that thing. It really shrinks down what you can use.
Closing the driveway all the way across, that's it. So you're gonna
Yeah,
pass,
we're getting on towards 3/4 of a mile.
That's my kind of driveway though. Just get way out there.
Until you have to maintain.
Well,
Plowing.
I thought mine was long. Well, I like maintaining it. I like running the grader.
Yeah, fair.
so you wanna pave it.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave it. It's been like that for 30 years. It's gonna stay now. If I was 30 years younger, maybe, but, you know.
does have the wetland scientist stamp.
What?
I read both, I think.
So shall we sign off this one, and do we have any comments to offer?
Don't have any comments.
But we're all good that we reviewed and signed off on our, having had opportunity to review? All right, that's it for planning board, unless anybody knows anything else. Seeing a no from Ray, we shall move on to mail items from Department of Environmental Services, or regarding the Department of Environmental Services. Looks like we have 2 wetlands permit by notification applications. First one is for 93 Daniels Road. Applicant Lori Willie. Has the work started? No. Is the work in a priority resource area? No. It's for maintenance of an existing legal docking structure. Although the check-off box says tidal docking structure, I don't think we have anything in town that's subject to tides. The project is to replace an existing permanent 4-foot by 12-foot dock with a 4-foot by 20-foot aluminum dock that will be seasonal. The new dock will have safety stairs and a floating kayak launch. It will help access for family with mobility issues. On Daniels Lake. We have nobody here asking for our signature. If we include our signed written waiver, the PBN would be reviewed within 10 days, otherwise it'll be reviewed within 25 days. plans attached. And pictures. So, I don't know, I take that as a big FYI. Anybody have anything we suggest we do with it? When folks do ask us for a signature on those, as usual, we would do our best to review before we signed and to have them address anything that we thought maybe was erroneous. But in this case, I think it's a
Cut and dry.
cut and dry FYI.
So they're not looking for us to sign that to move it along faster?
There was no request for such.
Okay.
This was signed July 2nd, so how did it get? Oh, we never meet.
Yeah, we'd have a meeting.
Okay.
So this is probably.
So it's probably already moved, or at least been, it's probably already there, so. It's now and after the fact, FYI.
They're gonna bounce this though, aren't they?
They might.
You must include the following attachments, like none of these are checked. The data check. That wasn't there. Yeah, so this.
Like I said, if you're not here to, and it doesn't work that we, have an applicant looking for a signature, they don't get the value added of, hey, you might wanna add something or reconsider, or, you know, clear something up. But, all that said, docks on lakes that are already there and being maintained are typically not something we have a great deal of interest in. All right, then we have Eastman Way subdivision. I believe we've already,
Yeah, that's the one where he took the 10 lots and made them into 3.
Yep, they included our meeting minutes from June in an attachment.
all right. They signed July 17th. Did you happen to see in our minutes whether we said we were gonna sign something? Or did we just?
We all agreed that not putting in the road is more beneficial to the wetlands crossing just by having a driveway there, so there was no downside to it,
No. Less impact.
less impact.
Is that the June meeting? I wasn't here, so it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah, well, we got our meeting minutes here, that's handy. We ought to go back.
That's where they had a road originally approved to go from Eastman Way all the way to Barnard Hill Road, and there was gonna be 10 lots along it. The guy decided he'd rather not have a road at all, just keep it dead-ended. Put 2 lots at the beginning, and then 1 on Barnard Hill, and eliminate the road altogether. So, and the driveway is going in exactly where the road was approved to go, but now it won't be as wide, so less impact to the small wetland area that crosses it. So,
No formal recommendation was made, but the discussion would be reflected in the meeting minutes for reference by the zoning board. All right, check, done, moving on. So that's effectively another FYI. All right, moving on down, we get to, any town forest update.
Got it right here.
Okay.
So, from Jeremy, with the wet June, my scheduled task projects are 1 month, about a month behind. That said, no action on Wintertown Forest yet. Late summer items to begin for you include Eastman mowing bids, Eastman timber sale access and bid, garden lot timber sale. So, that's the update.
What's the garden lot?
Garden lot.
I don't know, what is it? I don't know what it is either. It's kind
Barden, isn't it?
Barden.
Yeah, garden lot.
Garden lot.
All right, so that means we got future discussion items with him, or these are things that he's,
Well, he's working on them, but just behind. We have FSAs for all that stuff, so.
right, but before a timber sale would be ready to go, we would have opportunity to potentially walk it with him, if that, would we know of that, or is it?
You could shoot him an email and set up a time if you wanna do that. Usually it just lays it on. We've already walked Barden, right?
Yeah, but he would-
He wasn't there, but,
He would hold a pre-bid meeting, right? That's what we would expect, so there'd be that. Would you tell us we're doing,
So, we
He would tell
handled
us
the
he's
bid
doing it.
last time, right? We
I
opened
missed
them
the
here.
first quarter of the year, so that could be a,
No, but that time, I mean, the last timber harvest, when we fixed the process, the bid got opened here publicly, I believe.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
before there's a bid, he would get us the documentation, we'd discuss that, we'd put it out,
approve
set
the
the
bid.
date, open it publicly, approve it.
Yeah.
That was the whole scoring thing.
No, I'm backing up before that. Before anybody submits a bid, you'd usually do a site meeting with the bidders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we are not aware of any date, he hasn't set a date for that yet, is what I'm saying.
Oh, he hasn't even marked it yet.
Yeah, it hasn't even put a bid together yet.
He's not, yeah, he's
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
And then he's working on.
So what I'm saying is, at some point, we'd expect him to say, okay, I've got this underway and I'm doing a pre-bid meeting on such and such a date.
Yeah, let's get him here next meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Check. Anything for farm? Right, I think we got
I haven't
that.
heard anything since the attorney.
All right, I'll double check with the attorney that it's in motion.
I did miss a meeting a couple months ago. Zuzu, did you tell them about the trail work on Core Farm?
No, but the only update is that the trail is complete on the property on the north side. Slightly rerouted, to avoid poison ivy and swamps. And yeah, looks good to finally have that done.
Perfect. Thank you.
How was the cleanup day? You get any volunteers?
Yeah, and Mike came with his little boy, which was
Excellent.
great.
We lost one in the woods.
Oh,
Yes, we
okay.
did lose, yes, we did lose one.
Repopulate
But
out there.
confirmed that he left with his car, so he's not still out there.
And the only thing I'd have from that is maybe we update the map on the website. There is a trail map
For
on
the
website.
location of the trail?
Yeah, 'cause it's
Yeah,
changed a
that's a
little bit.
great idea. I also recently learned that, anyone can, well, I mean, it makes sense, but anyone can update trails in OpenStreetMap, so the trail is shown, like, probably on Google Maps and stuff, and it would be easy to change that as well, but anyway, yes, that's a great point. Do that.
Success. Thank you, Zuzu, for doing all that. All right, moving on to, actually, anybody else on sort of the generic land management items?
I have a
Going on?
question.
Yeah.
So I had offered to go to the Barden lot and clean up some potentially hazardous conditions. And the last time we talked about it, there was some discussion about liability, I think, which is why I haven't been there. So it makes it hard to volunteer to do something when you gotta wonder about that. So since I have a company and it has insurance, and it would go there and take care of that, and I don't know what could possibly happen, but all I wanna do is go and clean it up and make it safe for people to be there without getting in trouble while I'm doing it. I would've done it by now. What should we do? Is that something we should talk to the selectmen about? Is there some sort of a waiver or permission slip that the town
Probably a
can sign?
Primex question.
You know, that would say, okay, you're gonna go and do some work with a piece of equipment, town's not liable, you know, you're on your own.
Primex is our liability insurance. Is that something from Primex?
We'll have to, we can just send an email.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be any different than hiring somebody to do something, and volunteering is the same
It-
basic thing.
Is that, how different than, is that than having a, you know, a trail
Yeah.
clearing day?
Well,
You know,
depends what
I'm
you're
on-
using.
I'm
the-
on the
right,
town land with my chainsaw.
Right, if
cutting
you get
stuff.
hurt there, it's
Did
the
I-
same thing.
I-
I mean, we do this every day for people,
Yeah.
and we get paid to do it. Here, I just wanna go do it for us, for the town. You know,
What are we talking about?
Barton, where they knock down the buildings.
The concrete
Barton?
piers he was
Yeah.
gonna bury and then weld a cap on the
Yeah.
well.
There's the
I know
well.
the well, I remember we talked
Pulling
about
the
the well.
well
yeah.
in.
There was some
You got the
concrete
well
piers he
cap.
was gonna bury.
I'm more concerned about some weird vandal somehow getting into the well and pouring poison down there and contaminating water.
Groundwater.
Because it's, nobody goes there well, you're inviting people to go there to walk on trails and stuff, so I wanna protect that. I wanna weld it shut, right? So the well is still there, but you can't access it in case the town ever wants to use it as a well, who knows in the future? And then there's all them piers that
Yeah.
someone, you know, is gonna trip over it and say, well, you know. So I just wanna clean up the area, and there's a nice concrete pad where one of those buildings was, but there's 2 rows of cinder blocks on it, which, you know, if I clean those off, there's a nice kind of a patio area for people to sit. And then maybe we could make a little bench, right? We have the tools. And people could go there and sit, but right now it's a mess.
Naomi, as town administrator and looking out for the interests of their town, is there something we need to do? Whether it's on the lower end sort of thing where it just involves hand tools, maybe light power tools for trail clearing that sort of covers us, or something that we need to do for things like what Ray's discussing with the mini excavator and little earth moving, that we need to do properly so that the town is properly,
I think Jack mentioned
Covered.
earlier, we can just run it by Primex.
Primex are,
Primex is our insurance carrier, and they're a liability company, so I could run the scenario by there. Sure, they're probably more concerned with the running of chainsaws and, than there is him.
And all I'm gonna do is
But all
send the
it
town
is
an
is-
insurance certificate if necessary,
they may ask for it.
and then everybody's covered.
And I'm happy to email, I just made myself a note to do that.
Thank you.
Because we do it every day, I mean, we send
So you'll-
insurance
you'll
certificates out.
just- catch Primex, see if there's anything that needs to be of concern, and let Ray and us know.
Yeah, I can ask them, they won't be as concerned there as they would be with people running chainsaws.
We had rakes and shovels, we didn't have.
Yeah, the only chainsaws.
Power
Yeah,
equipment.
That, yeah. But I'll ask.
I've seen people get in trouble with rakes and shovels.
I mean, goodness gracious,
Yeah, we'll
just
ask.
trying to help the town.
But yeah,
So you'll
chainsaw.
touch base on that too, if we need to have concerns for,
Mhm.
leaf blowers, chainsaws, what, I don't know, weed whackers, I mean. And if it's simple, ideally the answer is no, we don't, which is great, but if it's something else, hopefully it's simple as simple as signing a release, a waiver, a hold harmless, or something of that sort. Accidents happen, and we don't want our insurer to find out
Yeah.
after the fact we've done something that we should have done differently had we known.
Well, I think
Thank
you
you.
talk about, because if there does have to be some sort of a form or some sort of formality set up through the selectmen, and when people want to volunteer their services to the town, it would be an easier way to do it. Because right now, they run into a roadblock, same things I did, And you look at other towns where, you know, volunteers go in with equipment and all kinds of things, and they do little rail trail things, and they do trails in the woods, it's because they don't have that restriction. So, I mean, I'd be happy, but we did it for the snowmobile club, remember, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
We used to go out there and, but, that's all.
Yeah. Good point, thank you. Just on a general, you know, we've discussed this umpteen times, and so
Yeah.
you're good with us, but I would just reiterate, let me know if you're planning something like that, and I'd be glad to be a second,
Yeah.
you know, hand with gloves to help on something like that.
It'd be on short notice, because if we have a short day or a day where we got nothing to do.
I'm not that tall, so
Load up on the
you can
trailer and go.
you can notify the short guy.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Steve, why don't you mention the one that you had shared with me a while back on some town-owned land that could be of potential conservation value? I don't think we've had the discussion here just yet on that. Maybe it happened when I was out and you had that discussion already.
We talked about it a little
Okay.
bit.
If we did, then we can just X this one off.
I don't know if we
And
told Jack
I
about.
mentioned, I mentioned, Steve, there are a couple more down on the paper subdivision that have been forfeited down south of Farron Pond.
Yeah, the ones we were looking at were over by Wolf Creek, right, the ones,
Right.
picked up on, so.
All right, we dealt with
Yeah.
that, though,
Yeah.
or did I not, did we deal with it, and I never
don't know.
got,
It was kind of.
I never got a request to the selectmen on that one, that,
Well,
We were thinking about more land that abuts already conserved land and some bigger pieces.
right.
yeah, I mean, so while we're looking at, and I think we wanted to mention the selectmen, asked them not to go selling that, and then the other part of this, you know, we'd have to do a warrant article in the
Yes.
spring,
Yeah.
or late fall, whatever you wanna call it, winter, to get it on the spring warrant. And then those would just get dissolved into the existing town forest. Are there any tax sales going planned right now, or we,
Yeah, October 4th.
so those parcels didn't go in, right?
We haven't completed the list yet.
Some have.
We've got a partial list, we haven't finalized the list.
Can we get the list before it goes out? We wanna make sure those ones don't go.
Had someone relayed the parcels to board of selectmen?
We did or not?
I was supposed to, I do not know whether I did or not. If Jack has not heard about the concept, then I probably didn't, and I
Okay.
need to redouble on that one.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the concept of Conservation Commission saying there's some tax forfeited lands, and when we see that they're either next to a conserved, already conserved property and we try to build bigger, or they offer links between travel ways and conservation property that would allow public access?
I joined in June, so.
Nothing's been since then, right?
None in the board since I've been on there.
I think, all right, so it'd be great if we could get that list, Naomi, and I should follow it up with a email to Benji and crew so that our interest is
All right,
registered.
so the one that I brought up on the email and Mark responded, so 407 Lot 1 connects Wildwood to Toby Hill Town Forest.
It's not on the
That's,
list.
that was the one.
Not on the list.
It's not on the list? So we would be interested in
We need-
changing the status on that parcel.
But then you had also, or Andy had
One of the
mentioned
paper subdivision
South Missouri.
potentially.
That one is potentially on the list.
Yeah, there was 2 lots side by side,
Yeah. Up by Farron.
258, 259.
All right, so I need to ask that they be taken off.
And then ask for the whole list to be forwarded to us for scrub.
Well, I'm trying to get that first.
Yeah.
So that's my prod to look at the list and say, Benji and crew, here's the list, we just had a look, these are of good conservation value for such and such reasons, and we request that they be removed from the for sale list. Okay. Anything else on that? Fair reiteration. Electronic official file and paper file plan and location discussion, initiated by our town administrator. And Steve, you had some thoughts on this? You've been emailing a little bit?
Yeah, we
as far
traded
as-
some emails too, so, we talked about this before, as far as, electronic system, and it looks like Bruce mentioned something's coming online. But like, say tonight, we got, I don't think that stuff ends up getting kept, nor do I really.
Do these PBNs that we talked about, does a set of plans that we talked about,
Right, so,
does the letter that Ernie shared, does that have to be filed somewhere as this is what was managed by, or,
I think that's the question.
that is a question.
When
So
someone-
how do we get to the answer?
well,
Well, I'm just saying that when someone comes in here and asks what went to you, does it then go back to us to go on conservation file, or what?
so, I'll back up to the way
Because
this,
wetlands permits, there's like 7 of them in this building. We don't need them all.
right, so do we have a land use person anymore or not?
Yeah, you've had one since April.
I'm not as much.
That's right. We've had a new hire, we've had a building inspector since April, we've had, that's full-time, we've had a land use person that's full-time.
So what we've got, like, my other job is a very distinct, like, this goes in this file, this goes in this file, this goes in this file, and it has a retention on it, and then it gets trashed when it's past the retention. Remember we dug into, like, when we had the, right to know, unfortunately, the attorney said, yeah, even if you got stuff beyond the retention, you still got it, turn it over. So, and then, you're looking like contracts that have, like, by state law, have like a certain amount of years. Most general correspondence, 1 year, and you can trash it. Like, the permits themselves end up being on a state site, so it's kind of redundant for us to keep a permit.
The town clerk keeps a copy, right?
Huh?
He's the record keeper.
Who is?
Town
Town
clerk.
clerk keeps the records.
I don't know that. Because we had
No,
our own
I'm
records.
just saying, when you guys get that, the clerk signs it and distributes 6 copies to everybody in this building, but I think she keeps one. I would have to say that.
Don't have a clue.
Okay.
So I would like to make the case that none of this needs to be in a file somewhere, taking up space, that everything that's on our agenda that goes into the minutes connects to a discoverable document, whether it's in state files, whether it's in town email files, which, great, share them. That's what they're for. Happy to, we already have Ernie's attorney's letter in our email files. So I understand that then somebody can't step into the office and say, I want to see everything that, conservation looked at on this date. And
Well, at the moment, you do have a way to do that. Because I take copies of your stuff and I scan it to the minute taker. Like, not necessarily, it's this letter right here. It's the front page of Lori Willie's.
Yeah, no, the whole
So
thing.
it goes with the agenda, and it goes with whatever you talked about to the minute taker, so that she can understand what you're talking about. So I have an electronic file, but it's not the whole thing, it's just the front page.
that seems like, not only for the minute taker would it be of some value, as a digital record, if we have
Mhm.
the ability to file our
Since you
digital.
had a minute taker, that's how I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Is I take the agenda, I take my notes, because she doesn't, it's been a while to know, you do a good job with who makes a motion, who seconds, but not all boards do.
Yeah.
So then she has an idea of what you're talking about. So that's how I've been doing it with her. So
To-
default, I have the top pages. But the question was, if someone came in, what did you talk about? Do I then ask Pam if she's got an original? Because this building is gonna cave in with the amount of paper.
Well, if somebody came in and said, what did you talk about, wouldn't we be able to show them the meeting on, it's on YouTube,
Yeah, you
right?
can go to YouTube, but YouTube's not your end all be all, because you're supposed to, once you approve your minutes, you're supposed to really cancel it.
Minutes a legal issue.
Right.
Yeah.
So the real issue is not what you talked about, but what state law says you have to retain.
Right.
I don't think we're.
I mean, we used to have a retention committee, we don't have one.
Yeah. I
So
think
it's a
we didn't
matter of
retain.
when you have minutes, when you've got time, you pull up the RSA and say,
Yeah.
okay, you go through your files, you go through your files, you go through your files. It's just we don't have, I mean, we have 8 staff for 10,000 people.
And so that's where I was going with the electronic thing, and so we do have, the town laptop is town owned, it's not, I wouldn't,
Right, but it's not on the server part. Remember I tried to get you another, and you said I already got one, I don't need one? I tried to get another one for that for that laptop.
the server.
No, I tried to get you another access, and then you said you already had one, so you didn't wanna use it. But the VPN
Right.
is specific. I mean,
So, if the VPN was connecting to a town network that had a town server with a place to dump files to go, for the,
Yeah.
for the electronic
right,
record.
so we set up a file with Park and Rec, we set up a file with the cemetery. But it's on the town laptop, and that's the only access they have. So there's a laptop of Beth's that the cemetery advisory committee can access, but they can access their stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So from
And
our
Parks and
laptop,
Rec does the same thing.
right, so if you had a server that gets backed up, so you're not just keeping it on the laptop, and you took the, if we had
And that's why I
electronic.
said I need to know what you need, because you're talking Greek to me. I want that to work when it works, and that's about it.
Yeah, but what we really need to have is our FSAs. We passed a bunch of FSAs, and I can't remember what that was, and I can't access it.
That's all contract stuff, so Beth gets all those right now? So
Okay, but
yeah,
we
that was
don't
all
have
sitting on the
access.
server. Huh?
We don't have
So
quick
Parks and Rec
access to it.
created a share folder,
Yeah,
and that's only that they have access to the share folder. They don't have
Yeah.
access to anything else. And
Right.
then you can't go in Parks and Rec shared folder, but
Right.
it's got what he's asking for is documents.
Right.
But I had to give the IT guy some parameters,
yeah.
so that you're not in the clerk stuff, you're not in the finance stuff, you're not in everywhere else.
I think you need two things there. I think you need like an official file plan that's going somewhere, or whether that's paper or electronic. And then, like Mark said, and we tried to do, we were doing that, we actually there are a couple different drop boxes for that stuff. We had, MTL might still be dumping them on there, I'd have to check, and then we can share that, but we could do that officially through town
Yeah.
provider.
Well, what
so that
Bruce
you can
was
still-
saying to you is we've got an RFP out for building permit software, and when they come in, there's gonna be some other things we'd like as part of the package.
Yeah,
And that, the bids are due August 21st.
yeah.
So we'll see what people, we had 4 companies interested, so we'll see what they offer us.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say, he thinks that might be able to connect it all.
Right.
Right,
We
so there
don't
there
have-
might be a preferred vendor selected who
Right.
could then negotiate
Yeah.
potential
And
add-ons if
that's
they
what I
made
think he's
sense.
getting to,
Modules.
is we put something in the works, but we don't have it yet.
Right.
Hmm.
So we gotta make, like, hopefully Beth has all the FSAs and the
I'm sure
contracts.
she does. I'm sure she's printed them out, and there's a binder upstairs.
Because we have to have that.
Yeah.
And then there's a state law that pertains to contracts, and there's a disposition.
Well, we've had to look for them, and
Yeah.
no one seemed to have them.
Oh, we had like partially signed
Yeah,
copies.
correct.
and-
When you
Yeah,
send them to her, I believe she has them in the electronic, but she also prints a book out. 'Cause
Okay.
yeah.
We've had to update different computer systems here, like mine was the oldest, and then hers was the oldest, so. They
Yeah,
seem to keep them for like 10 years before they cramp up, is what I call it.
yeah, so if that was on a server that you're VPN in, like during a meeting with
Yeah.
the conservation computer, that would be like the official batch of them. And if you bought like a little scanner, you could do it right here and just blast
Yeah.
them in there, so then they don't get lost.
But I think, like Bruce said, let's see what they're gonna offer us
Yeah,
first.
Yeah.
good idea. Well, we should, like, someone should really get us, or make a retention plan and figure out like, so tonight, if we say we had to keep all this junk, like, can we just
But I
drop this?
believe, what I'm saying to you is I think there's like 5 copies of this building. That's what I gotta ask Pam if she keeps the original.
Yeah, that'd be good to know,
So
because
that
then
if
we're
she
all set.
does, you feel like
Because
we're covered.
then I have one upstairs and somebody else has one downstairs and someone has one in another room, it's just a lot bigger.
But one office should have the official,
She has to, that's your record keeper,
right, we hope,
it's supposed to be.
right.
You had somebody 30 years prior to her, so I'm sure it is.
But that's for like wetlands permits, I mean, that's not for
I
every
mean,
little bit
that's
of
just
correspondence.
documents in general for towns.
Right, but I'm
Every
saying some,
document she has to have.
some stuff might just get trashed, like, you know, some note from the Forest Society, we're not necessarily gonna keep it.
Right. Yeah, or mail, or junk mail, or whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
You got a piece of mail there from the tree something, right?
Yeah, from the New Hampshire Timberland Owners Associations, saying you signed up, we received your dues, thanks, check, you're good until 2026. So, anybody want that?
so follow up next meeting maybe, see what
We
happens.
should have a better idea of what we're getting and what our plan is with the board. Because we're meeting the 25th.
So can you ask the IT folks if they can set that laptop up with VPN access to a server and create a walled off folder?
We gonna do that and do the other, or I thought we were just gonna wait and see.
I know, I would just ask them if they can do it, so we have all the information, because then we'll get strung
Not,
along.
not to do it,
Just
but
if they
Oh.
can.
capacity, ability.
Okay.
So they'd be taking the conservation laptop, they would set it up with VPN access to the town server, where they would create a walled off folder for conservation files.
And then we would build our own files, contracts, whatever, information.
We'd make sure it gets dumped in there. But at least
You'll
we're
be able to
backup,
find
so
it once
we'll
it's
know.
in there.
Right, yeah,
Well, we'd be able to find just that, and somebody like Naomi in that position could find it
yeah,
and everything else
right.
also.
Got 2 minutes to go on public, turning it up, okay.
But the last thing I wanna do is start building and bulging paper files with useless information, so redundant information. All right, check, we got that item worked on, hashed out. Other items, I mentioned we are proud renewed members with NH Timberland Owners Association. And we have a July 28th letter from the Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forests about easement monitoring. Talking about stewards and what they do and monitors what they do. We have on record that we hold an executory interest in Collins Ledge.
Yeah, that's probably due, right?
Have not received a 2025 monitoring report yet.
Yep.
And then, I think last time we gave this to Jeremy and they did the upload or whatever is
Yeah, they did it later in the
requested.
season.
And there's probably gonna
Late in the
be
season makes sense.
some logs and a temporary shed on the property.
Probably so. So let's remember to keep this on the mind when next we speak with Jeremy. Which I think might be next month. Might that be so, Steve?
Yeah, send them an email.
All right, that covers Spiniff. So I don't forget, can you all pass this down to Naomi to send along to planning board or whomever is interested? All right, so the last, I think we're up to the last item, which is non-public discussion on a land protection project.
Thank you.
Anyone have language to go
I
non-public?
don't know.
Do I have a manual?
You got a manual?
Oh, that's it.
I definitely don't.
Oh,
What do you look
Might
with
be
the
a problem.
RSA?
Yeah,
91A32, Roman D.
91,
91-A:3, Roman number 2, D is in David.
2D. Okay, so make a motion to go non-public under RSA 91A, colon, 3, so?
3,
3, and then
Roman
Roman 2, D is David.
Second. Camacho, all right, Steve Nazier made the motion to go non-public, seconded by Mike Camacho.
roll call.
Let's have a roll call vote. What do you say, Ray?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Steve?
Yeah.
Andy, yes. Mark?
Yes.
Lulu?
Yes.
All right.
Are you, you're gonna adjourn after? Just announce it so that once we're done, you can't turn the TV back on, so,
You have to seal and restrict coming out of it?
depends on what you talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
So hang on, you're still public, so before.
We don't have to do that point on camera because we can't go back to it.
Right, all you can do is what you're gonna adjourn once you're done. You're not
Folks,
gonna-
all we're gonna do is adjourn once we're done.
Yep.
Yep.
Hang on, hold on.